got a box this morning. I actually didn't think they'd FedEx delivered on Saturday, but they were in my box. Okay, it's from a company called Dungarees. I've never dealt with these people before, but I was looking to buy some more of these Carhartt B73s. You know, they're the double front logger, you know, the old original loose fit. No, I really like them. And I happened to, I looked in the Sierra website, and all of a sudden I see, oh, they're out of them. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And then I went to Carhartt, because to me, I'd be willing to pay the full price for them. You know, I like to get a deal if I can, but I'll pay full price if I have to. But when I went on Carhartt, then I see, oh my God, they quit making them. Now this is the story of my life. Everything that I like, they will quit making. So I thought, okay, now I gotta scramble. So I start looking around, and I found this company, Dungarees, which was selling the Carhartt stuff. Again, like Sierra, where it's the irregulars or the discontinued, and that's exactly what these are, is discontinued. Well, it's great for me in a way because then they're half price. So I think these were $29 each, and they're normally like $60. So I got a bunch of them, all that they had, you know, because that's my theory. If I find something I like, I buy a bunch, knowing that if it's something good, it is good. They're going to quit making them, or they're going to radically change the design, because now Carhartt still makes something similar to this, but it is in their relaxed fit with some kind of stretchy stuff built in the denim. And now, my experience with these relaxed fit pants that Carhartt makes, I mean, I had some of them one time, and I ended up returning them. I had bought them. I thought, well, I'm a relaxed kind of guy. They were the most crotch-grabbingest, pinchingest, most uncomfortable pants I ever had. And skinny little legs, you know, that you couldn't hardly get on. So when I found the regular old loose fit, that's what I was looking for. But like I say now, whoop, they quit making them. So I had to stock up. But that's the same, like even these gloves. These are the Wells Lamont, the ones that are made out of goat skin. Great glove. Well, I got a whole box of them at home because I stocked up on them, because there again, they quit making them out of goat skin. They make it out of some synthetic leather now. This goat skin is terrific stuff, incredibly tough. When you run across something like that you like, you have to stock up. Now, somebody made a comment on one of the videos said sometime, and he said, "Boy, you're a hoarder." There's a big difference. You know, hoarding is if you're buying up stuff that you're never possibly going to use, or like saving old newspapers that you're never going to read. You know, this kind of thing. I'm buying stuff that I know I'm going to need, that I know I'm going to want, and I know I'm not going to be able to find when I want it. Or you end up buying a substitute, a newer version that is not up to par of the old stuff. Plus, it's going to cost you more money. You know, so there's a big difference between hoarding and stocking up. You know, it's funny, you know, when he said I was hoarding stuff like that, I don't think that is a bad term. You know, like I said, I know this saved me a lot of money buying this stuff ahead. But I do that on a lot of things. If it's something that I like, I get multiples ahead of them. Like these handkerchiefs. I've got a bunch of them. A bunch of new ones, never opened. That eventually I'll be putting into the circulation of the ones that I use. Same with these caps, these Browner caps. I have a box full of them that will go into circulation. The same, these do-fold long handles. the union suit. Okay, I wear them all winter. I've got many pairs of them. I've got 4 brand new ones set aside that I can work into circulation, because though they still make them, the odds are, I am so fond of them, they will quit making them. They're just the way the world works. For me, anyway, everything that I really like, that I think is about as ideal as it can be, they're going to quit making. You can just bet on it. Or make a newer, subpar version. And prices don't go down on that kind of thing. They only go one way, and it's always up. Or the quality will drop. That's the same with these, like even now I'm wearing, these ski boots. It bugs me, I only have 1 pair of these ski boots. And I'm thinking, this might be a tough time to get them right before the hunting season and stuff, but it's one of the things I have in mind that I have to do, is to get another pair of them, because sometimes people ask me about these once in a while. Because when I got them used at a rummage sale years ago, and I wear them things all winter. They're a great boot. They're a great hunting boot. They're a pack boot, but they're not as heavy as a lot of pack boots. They're great. They aren't cheap. They're never going to be cheap. I got these cheap because it was a rummage sale, and the person selling them, it was like somebody got divorced. The wife ended up with all the guy's stuff, and she was just selling off to get rid of it. Even his jacket came from that rummage sale. There again, it's a good Carhartt jacket. I only have 1 of them. I have some other Carhartt jackets, but the temptation is to get more. Same with the bib overalls. If I find something I like, I buy it, because you just know they're gonna. It's like even in my keeping spare Swiss Army knives. They've been around for a long time, but something's got to happen eventually. They're too good. They're too good a tool at a pretty reasonable price. They're like $30, but my God, you can't beat them for being a useful knife. You just know. Well, they tend, even the Swiss Army stuff, it tends to get, they want to update it. I have the plain basic, what is it called? Fieldmaster. Great tool. But they keep coming out with newer ones, that are more ergonomically designed, and they think that they're improving them. They aren't. You really can't improve on this. My fear is that someday, in fact, these actually right now, the Fieldmaster is a little hard to find. They want to sell you all this other stuff that is never going to live up to what these are. See, I talked about these J.B. Fields socks, those heavy 50 below socks that go clean up your knee. I've got a pair of them on now. I have extra pairs of them coming right now. I figured, okay, I better buy more of these. I like them. And you're never going to find a sock that good again, so I ordered as many as I could find, But that's just the way I do it. And I don't think of that as hoarding. It's the last thing to cross my mind. I'm thinking, okay, I know I'm going to need them. I know I'm going to use them. It's something I really like, and I know they're going to quit making them, because that's just the way the world works. Plus, I'm thinking now, okay, I always got to try to get stuff like this that has got to be shipped in on UPS or FedEx. I got to get that in before the snow gets too deep, then it gets to be a problem of getting them in and out of here. So I kind of like to get that stuff out of the way before we get into the worst of winter. So I don't have to deal with a stuck UPS man. But I'm also thinking, okay, with the election coming up, I'm trying to get stuff set up for what I know is going to be a problem. There is going to be a lot of anxiety after this election. There is now. There would be more if you really knew what was going on, but you don't. So, but things are going to get really ugly. There could be great disruptions in the supply chain. I don't expect things to get too ugly around here. But a lot of the stuff that I'm getting has to come through areas that are going to be problematic. Like anything having to come through Chicago is going to be a problem. A lot of stuff ends up coming out of California. That's going to be a problem. Or out of New York. That's going to be a problem. Stuff in the Midwest I don't worry about. But with the rioting and stuff that you've seen now, this is just a little taste of what it's going to be after the election. No matter who wins. But I know every side, like the polls keep showing, oh yeah, Biden is ahead, Biden is ahead. I tell you, every sign that I see says exactly the opposite. Everything. There's a lot of little indicators out there. And those indicators are telling me we're going to have Trump again. And this is going to cause a great gnashing of teeth. People are going to be just rattled. And, the last time when this happened, yeah, they were rattled, but it took them by such a surprise they didn't have time to react in the way that they have a tendency to do, and now they're planning on a great reaction. So I'm not too worried about the election. I'm pretty sure Trump has got this sewn up, though everybody is against him. The news media, all the tech outfits, everything. I mean, the man has got a hell of an uphill fight. But when you get right down to it, the normal people aren't going to go for Biden, because you aren't really voting for Biden. You're voting for socialism is what you're voting for. And people really don't want that. They think they want something different. But the truth is, they really, people will vote their pocketbook. And when it comes down to that, which it really always comes down to, Trump is a miserable person, just as a person. I would hate to have him like a neighbor, that kind of thing. Nothing in common with this man. But he can handle the economy thing, so I'm fine with him. I don't have to deal with the man. He's just a jerk, but there's a lot of people that are jerks. He's just a very public jerk. But he does find an economy, and everybody knows it. Everybody's very well aware of it. Despite the pandemic nonsense. So I don't see a problem. I think he'll slide right in there. But like I say, there will be repercussions to this. Because this is our last chance, really. I mean, the people who want to make this a socialist country, if you're going to try something like that, you have to be kind of gradual, kind of sneaky about it. They want it now. They want to, and they want to completely change the whole country, everything in one shot. And people are just going to balk at that. Hopefully, my God, I mean, if, like I say, it doesn't really affect me so much if this happens, all right, but I will be dismayed with the plain stupidity of people to do that. Because, like I said, they aren't really voting for Biden. They're voting for Harris. And they're voting for socialism. It's a big jump. A little bit of socialism you can live with. But you can't do what they're trying to do. Well, or what they're going to do, though they're not going to tell you they're going to do it. But anyway, I figured there'll be a great disruption in the force. So I figure, okay, yeah, I better get stuff ahead that I know I'm going to need, and I feel very comfortable in doing it that way. But it always disturbs me when every time when there's something that I really like, because even now I'm thinking, okay, probably should get more ski boots because, you know, though that's a small company and it's one of these things. I think that they can weather this thing. I don't see how this would affect them. But it's always worrisome. But it ain't like I'm going to get a deal on them because they're high priced anyway. But they're worth the money. I mean, some things like these dual fold long handles, I don't get a deal on them, but they're worth the money. You have to. There are some things that it's worth paying for. So yeah, I gotta. I'm gonna have to think about getting some more of them boots. Like I say, I got plenty of gloves. So you can call me a hoarder if you want, but I'm sitting good. It's like when I go someplace and I always think, okay, one spare tire is almost no spare tires. If you have one flat, then you're renting. So I always bring the tire tools, and I have an extra inner tube. It's just the way I do things. I never want to get caught in that kind of an awkward situation where you can't get out of it again. Well, the only thing I got to do now is go through all these and put the suspender buttons on, and that extra button that I use on the pliers pocket for the knife, and it'll be good to go. But that's good to get them. I feel very comfortable having extras of the things that I like on hand.